I remember like about 6 years old, and out, by the two gaps away from where I live, which would be Third Avenue, now called Thorns Land. Frank Boyce, I used to be rehearsing there with the Marvels.
Yes, man.
Tony Fatchild Norville and Tony Grisette.
Now, you see that name that you called?
Yeah.
Tony is, although he died, he's an unkept secret for Barbados, because he had hits in Europe.
Yeah.
And I still talk to people about Tony when I travel.
Yeah.
And he never really got, the mentioned in terms of some of the things that he did previous to Rihanna and even me. He went away before me.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, talking to Tony Grisette recently, he even mentioned that Fatchild Norville had like the voice. As a matter of fact, he said he felt he was better to the whole group. I remember hearing him as a little boy, actually looking at watching him rehearse, with Charles O'Neill and the same Bandit and stuff, and going like, wow. I mean, that was like, that was the only gap in the area with a street light.
Wow, and it was sing out of the street light, right?
And then they would go inside and rehearse, and food would be cooking, and we just outside by the windowsill just looking and saying, wow, I mean, this is like the show before the actual show. I was too small to go to the show.
You heard the music, you heard the actual show.
Yeah, right. So that was amazing to be a part of that.
He was left out of the of whatever about Barbados. Tony Norville, I saw him. He came here with "Every Time You Go." Who sang that? Away, take a piece of me with you. Who's that guy? Had a big hit. Every time you go away. White guy. What's his name? Take a piece of me with you. He was singing backgrounds inside there and travel. I met him here and went to the shows and stuff. And Tony was strong, but again, record companies. I don't know.
Sharks.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you feel when you hear your first record on the radio? I mean, what did that do to you? I mean, from like, what about you?
Okay. Love of a lifetime. I grew up really as a bad, I was an unmanageable kind of kid. I was really, really a street kind of kid, and my mother thought that I was lost forevermore, and maybe that's one of the reasons she hurried up and got me out of Canada, street fight, I was a bad kid. And if you talk to my friends, they'll tell you that. Yeah. And
what I call up here was roughneck.
But this is a little, I would represent my family. My mother came from like I said, Panama, and sometimes things weren't even in terms of neighbors. They saw us as we were poor, so they saw us sometimes in the wrong light. But we had good parents. My mother worked, my dad worked, but it was just on the other end of the rock. And sometimes they saw us as whatever, and I represented my family. And if you really meet people that know me, they'll tell you that I was kind of a wayward kind of kid. And when they see me now, they're like, holy, holy, holy. Jakes is still here and changed. He's a human being now. But that's what it was. And back to the question you said.
Yeah. How do you feel when you?
But I heard it right. So
the first time I read it,
things changed when I sang and won at Kensington Oval. My neighbors looked at me differently. Yeah. And I was singing in St. Cyprian's choir, myself and Desmond Weeks. When I won that JC's competition, people told me that they loved me and that but prior to that, they probably were afraid of me. But that changed the way people saw me, I thought.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, huh?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I fought for my food every day, guy. Yeah. We were poor, man. We were some poor people. But full, my mother was a really beautiful lady, and my dad, they worked hard, and she came from Panama, and I think that was some form of stigma at that point, like a St. Lucian, you know,
right? Yeah.
St. Lucian,
Yeah, it sells mangoes and
yeah. But we overcame that, and she wanted the best for me, and like I said, she sent me away, and I did the best I could, I thought, up until this juncture. And when I go home, when I used to go home to visit her when she was alive, the smile because all of my work was to really position my family in a better position. Mm-hmm. But musically and, you know, publishing, you know the deal about getting paid for publishing and getting your royalties, and that could go awry until you get a hit record. Yeah. You could be doing good stuff initially and not selling numbers, and there's no money there. You do the road work.
That's why most people end up touring.
Right, you do the road work.
Yeah.
So you know, so all of my, like I said, you know, my going overseas and stuff was in part to straighten that stuff out. But she died on me, and my dad died on me, and Edward died on me, my brother. Yeah. So. I'm here fishing by myself all alone. Yeah. And my sister in Canada, Miranda, my sister who lives in Ottawa, Canada.
So how do you see the artists being recognized in Barbados as far as airplay? Do you think there's enough of it happening? Or is it seasonal? Or what do you think the situation should be?
Right. Judging from my standpoint, I think that it's, from where I sit, I think it's seasonal. I think that the powers that be need to know that playing music rotationally by artists increases their chances of getting money from airplay situations, and people are hearing songs and say, I like that, and might re-record it, and a whole lot of different things could happen. And I think that the powers that be need to look at these situations. You know, because if you're an artist and you understand that you're a writer and you understand the publishing thing, you want your music to be played so that money is generated for you annually. While you keep playing Doris Day, who is turned into Doris Knight by now, and she's already rich. How much money her publishers, or she's probably dead and gone, but whoever wrote that song or whatever conglomerate who owns the publishing is getting money. Revert some of that money, play some of that music that the guys are writing, and make sure that they get some money.
We should be proud of our own. We should be promoting more all year round, not just seasonal. That's just a way for a crop over to come to, you know, do that. All year round should be local. Artists should be playing any given time on any format.
Yes, and you should still give the international. You know, make sure you incorporate that too, right. But make sure that you do the most that you can for the guys that are there.
I should write a Boo's book. It's a very good book on the entertainment scene. You know, some of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and I think, you know, it's a good read.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he hit the nail right on the head. So
we're hoping for changes.
Yeah,
we're hoping that,
you know,
and like I said, if anybody who could really turn that around and make sure that it happens properly, it could be Buretta. I hope that he looks into that and do it right.
Right. So, any final words you want to?
Final word. I'm here talking to you after a lot of years, after being a Blue Rhythm Combo member like you. We're still going strong. You're working, I'm working. God is good. Kids are beautiful, grown.
Yeah.
I got a beautiful son. And the voice still works. So if you say, Jigs, how you doing? I'm doing really, 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 really well.
Yeah. That's good to know, man. And it was a pleasure doing this. And it took a while, even though the invitation was extended a week ago. You accepted, and that's great. And people can see the other side of Jigs KIRTON, you know, the casual, relaxed side, you know. not clean cut, ready to suit with a microphone. You know?
Well, let's hope that we did a good thing here, and
Yeah.
hopefully that some things would happen.
Yeah,
You know.
and good luck on your CD.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
You came into my life when I was down and out. I never thought I could feel this way. You turned my life around, and now you put me down for someone else. The love you took from me hurts, can't you see?